Adam, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Doing great. So I love that Wade A is in a bowling league. I think that is perfect for Wade. But I
Thank
also
you.
love that this is his hero's journey in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And when you got that call that it was like, hey, you've been a part of these movies. Now it's like Wade and Knuckles tag team. What was your initial reaction to just knowing you were going to be in a car with a CGI creature for most of the time by yourself?
Um, my initial reaction was just joy, and I feel like I'm living the dream of a lot of every actor. It's a really tale as old as time, but you book a small part and then it grows, and then you have your own thing. It's just
Mhm.
it's kind of remarkable. So I owe a lot to this franchise and was really excited to give back.
And does your improv help you with scenes where it is very clearly like, you in a car by yourself for the filming process, but does that help you kind of make those scenes that much more fun because you get to kind of improv with yourself a lot of the time?
It's certainly more rewarding for a narcissist because I think there's no one else for anyone to look at, and that's fine with me. The more eyes on daddy, the better. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think you just have to, like any job, every actor has their own rhythm and every actor has their own picadillos and their own way to do things. And Knuckles is no different, even if he is an animatronic puppet, when I'm with him. So uh, I think just like any job, you just find your rhythm.
Mhm. When it was fun watching you, especially in that first episode in the bowling, when they go to a different bowling alley and
Yeah.
there's the fight sequence, because you have been in a big old superhero movie where he's a guy in a truck who's kind of hiding away from whatever's going on, but
Mhm.
now like Wade, I think at the one point just like throws bowling balls at Knuckles to kind of help him out and is
Yeah.
is aiding him. Is it more fun to kind of be in the midst of that action rather than the guy who's like, let me hide in this truck?
Yeah, it's way more fun. It's always fun to do more, I find.
Yeah.
Like as an actor, it's like when someone says, "Can you do something?" Your first answer is yes, because even if you can't, you're gonna figure it out. And
Mhm.
so like I relished it. I relished the opportunity to like not be the one in the truck. I was like, okay, well then this is gonna be my version of it.
And I think Wade too there's so many like layers to this character that at first people probably were like, oh yeah, there's that guy in the first Sonic movie and kind of laughed. But then slowly it's like, oh, he's kind of sad. He just wants to like be on this league and in this one in particular, wants to be on this league that no one's like, no, you're good. That girl's bullying you too much and you're not going to throw the ball.
Hmm.
When you get to build that up throughout time and like make people kind of warm to a character in that way, what for you is like, do you think about it as like, oh, eventually people are gonna love this guy? Or is it just that you're playing him as honestly as possible and that's kind of that's the result of that?
It's a good question. I feel like you're always doing two things as an actor, which is you're playing the moment and then you're playing the script. So you have to know you can't pretend that you don't know where this character is going because you you have to orchestrate it to get there. You know what I mean? So I think it's a little of both, where I try not to think about what the audience is going to think about my character, but I know because I know the script and then I know what the scene is like, where I am and where I'm supposed to be and where I'm going.
Yeah, and I mean it comes across because like I said, this show is like, oh yeah, it's Wade's show. That's kind of cool. That rules that it's Wade and Knuckles. But
Thanks.
obviously, your friends or in, like Ben Schwartz is
Mhm.
Sonic, and like
Yes.
people you've known and worked with are in these movies. But if you had to pick one of them, like either when you were a kid or like now, like your favorite of the like Sonic characters, which I guess maybe excluding Knuckles because it's his show, But it was there one that you ever really were like, that's my favorite character in that franchise?
I mean, I think Sonic is probably the one that everybody would say. I really enjoyed Tails as a kid. You know, it just bugged me that Tails was always behind Sonic, especially when you were playing two players. Like it was really hard to get Tails ahead of Sonic. And then when you could play as Knuckles, it kind of blew everybody's mind. So I feel like Knuckles was my guy.
So then it's perfect. It's a
Yeah, it's
perfect
kismet.
combination.
It's perfect.
But thank you so much for talking with me. I really appreciate it. And the show is so much fun. Of
Thank you so much for talking to me. I really appreciate it.
course, have a great one.